Hi guys, my name is Vita. I'm from Ukraine and welcome today to my live stream. So today you've got me all for 2 hours, if everything is fine. Thanks for joining. And today topic is war update, day 318th. So for newbies to our channel who still probably don't know me or just joined our channel, I would like to show some short video about myself that you guys have an idea what I'm doing here, especially for you.
Ukrainian women, it's like 5 in 1. It's perfect mothers, perfect wives, perfect cookers, perfect lovers, perfect housekeepers, and perfect friends. Every man is a hunter, and every woman is a target. So every hunter wants to get his target. And every target at the end of the day would like to be chased and caught. Believe me, you will be happy with her. This lady, when she gets you, trust me, she will keep you with both hands and never let you go. Believe me, guys, the lady who is really interested in you and who really likes you never will ask you for money, for gifts or for presents from the early beginning of your relations. Why women look for foreign husband? Because women tired of laziness and non-responsibility of our men.
If we're talking about spontaneous sex on the first date, it also can be great for sure if both of you feel the magic and chemistry, but only from physiological side. Regarding psychology, guys, in majority of cases, chemistry is one of the smallest reasons why she may want you just on the first date. So remember, date is always for Ukrainian women is kind of exhibition. She will look at you, she will listen at you, smell you even, and evaluate you to make a general conclusion about your future destiny. So guys, as always, please feel free to ask me any type of questions about all things in Ukraine, about our culture, mentality, history, nationality, and of course, our beautiful Ukrainian ladies. Actually, most hot burning questions: how to win our hearts, how to become best husbands, and how not to be scammed also by our vicious Ukrainian ladies. Sometimes that happens, already. So hello everybody once again. The last announcement before we get started our topic today. And we are starting a membership on the channel which will bring more cool features to our live streams, and at the same time will help our channel to grow, because we are doing that for you. The bigger channel, the bigger amount of guys we can help sharing useful and important information. Okay guys, so today topic is actually a war update, but today I would like to show you, not to show you, to explain you a little bit the reason why actually this war happened. What was the foundation? Because I hear a lot of different theories. We mentioned these theories yesterday as well, global conspiracy theories, right? So probably the facts, historical facts, which I would like to give you today, will help to clear up the whole situation, because I have my own vision, I have my own idea about why, but let me give you some dry historical facts, because I don't think everybody knows how that all was developing and why actually that happened. Okay, and then I will be back to you to answer all your questions. So for some guys, this question sounds even more dramatic. How did this war actually become possible? Or even more dramatic, this war between fraternal nations. And regarding the latter, let's immediately forget about the thesis about fraternal peoples, especially about the fraternal Ukrainian and Russian peoples. This is the thesis of a scoop of propaganda which has nothing to do actually with either history or the present. So the history of Ukraine and Russia is a history of confrontation since early beginning, not brotherhood, as most of people all over the world think. So Russia as such appeared precisely after the absorption of Ukrainian lands. The gradual destruction of the Ukrainian Cossack state was the beginning of the birth of the empire with the stolen name of Russia from the Ukrainians. Then there were centuries of imperial policy, the purpose of which was to dissolve Ukrainians in the imperial sea, or else the swamp. Various methods were used for this, from the incorporation of the descendants of the Cossacks elders into the Russian nobility, which was attractive to the Ukrainian elite, to the systematic destruction of the Ukrainian language, culture, mentality, even holidays. You remember we had a live stream about that, which actually challenged the empire. But the Kremlin failed in that struggle. At the beginning of the 20th century, he was forced to fight with the already developed Ukrainian national movement. And the weakening of the Russian Empire led to the fact that this movement rushed to a national revolution and therefore to the creation of a national state. Proclaimed in 1917, the Ukrainian People's Republic almost immediately found itself at a war with the new imperial Russian project under the leadership of the Bolsheviks. We also mentioned in one of the streams, right, these historical facts. The Ukrainians lost this 4-year war, unfortunately, but they seriously weakened Russia and provided an opportunity for the independence of its other territories and now as well states like Poland, Finland, and the Baltic countries. So the fall of the Ukrainian state did not mean the end of the Ukrainian national movement. It remained the main challenge to the Russian imperial project for the next 100 years. Ukrainians weakened the empire with uprisings in central and southern Ukraine until the middle of 1920s. And they frightened actually Stalin with a mass movement of resistance to collectivization, in the 1930s. These facts you already know as well, which was actually answered by an organized artificial Holodomor. So Ukrainians defied the USSR, which had just defeated Nazism and conquered half of Europe almost, unleashing a large-scale insurgent movement in Western Ukraine that the Kremlin was unable to suppress for more than a decade after World War II. So Ukrainians demonstrated all the time, all this historical period of time, the ability to oppose the empire by non-violent methods, organized one of the most active dissident movements in the 1960s and 1980s in this time frame. So in the end, Ukrainians finished off the Russian imperial project called the USSR, declaring independence, as all of you know, in 1991. But the death of the USSR was not the end of the Russian Empire, which only temporarily came to terms with the loss of Ukraine. So having gained strength and accumulated resources due to oil and gas, Russia began to implement attempts to return Ukraine in the nearly even 2000s. First, by political methods, through pro-Russian political forces, which for a long time determined the political agenda of Ukraine. But the Maidans, the national uprisings of 2004 and 2013 and 14, effectively deprived Russia of these two. So Russian political forces in Ukraine, like Communist, SDPU, now OPZZ, probably, despite the colossal support from Moscow, were losing their electoral base. So therefore, from 2014, Russia began to return Ukraine under its influence by military methods. So having first occupied Crimea and sized part of Donbass, now launching a large-scale offensive against Ukraine. Therefore, we are now on the 318th day of the almost 9-year war, which has been going on for over 100 years. So the peculiarity of this stage of our 100-year war is that Ukraine has never been so strong in it. I mean, before, till now. And Russia has never suffered such large-scale losses from Ukrainians, and the world actually has never supported us so solidly and actively. Thanks for the rest of the world who are with us and who keep helping us, of course. And this means that it was we who had the opportunity, the chance, and the honor to end our century-long war for independence. So actually, guys, these were dry historical facts, just the foundation, the basement. Of course, the history is much bigger and much more details, but I don't want to bug you with a lot of such information. What I want to tell personally from myself, actually the main idea and the reason why this war began, to my mind, my opinion, is much more simple than other people think. The main thesis, the world which doesn't recognize the greatness of Russia shouldn't exist. This idea, all propagandists or ideologists of Russia try to demonstrate now, not only to Ukraine, but to the whole world. So all these theories about world conspiracy are nothing in comparison with megalomania, envy, and hatred just to the Ukrainian nation, and only because of disobedience and our choice to live and to develop our country by our own way, the way how we want. Because as you know, Ukraine has more Western direction, and Russia, despite all the facts, all their technologies and declaration of the Second World War or Second World Army military, right? So still their style of governing is back to USSR. That's why Putin keeps telling that we are brotherhood nation and Ukrainian, Belarusian, and Russian people. But as you see, Ukrainians don't think so, and we don't want to be anymore the part of this brotherhood. So that, guys, actually the main information I wanted to share with you today. And now I'm ready to answer all your questions if you have such. So feel free, any type of questions. Gregory, hello. What? Hello. Yannick, hello. Yannick, thanks for joining us. You haven't been for ages here. I guess we're busy with holidays, with celebrations. And hello, nice to see you. Juan, good afternoon, Vita the Brain. It's good to see you. Good morning, gentlemen. Yeah, thanks God. The deficit of electricity still more or less okay. We got few announcements yesterday from the governor of our city that we need to be very economical. And until the level of usage of electricity was okay, so they asked all people to save electricity, and to switch off all powerful facilities which we can use at home, like electrical kittens, like maybe iron, like maybe boilers or washing machine or hair dryers, which actually uses a lot of electricity. So in order not to get switches off, we should be economical. Some people start to argue with local authorities why then in the city, on the street, we have light right now, like street lights, because before we didn't have them since March. Absolutely. And of course, that causes a lot of problems. That causes a lot of problems for people who are coming back from work. You know, for me, that's a real problem because though I have 100% eyesight, I'm absolutely blind in the darkness or in the twilight. So I cannot differentiate stone or hole in the road. So for me, that's a problem. Of course, everybody uses lanterns on mobile phones, some specific devices, but also about discipline. Unfortunately, due to the fact that street lights were switched off for many months, we really got increasing the amount of accidents at the road, and not between cars, but cars and people who try to cross the road. Of course, this light's not working. It's very difficult to see the people. So really a lot of accidents and even lethal accidents, unfortunately. So what would do any normal European people? And I know you shouldn't be even told about that. You need to have something, some kind of band, special reflecting band, right? Some bracelet, some uh, kind of belts. Some really conscious people, they use such things, but still the mentality of Ukrainians, they cannot follow rules and laws. They don't understand that's for their safety. And this what I really don't like about our nationality, our nation. Because these bands, they are really cheap right now. Maybe $1 for couple of meters. So you can cut, you can stick on your shoulders, on your backpack, on your bags, whenever. I know that in Denmark, that's like, 100% guarantee. Everybody who goes out when it's twilight or even in the daytime, they all have on their clothes and accessories all these reflecting things, whatever they are. They don't need to be explained or asked to do such things. But our people still getting into accident, being killed by cars or injured. And if you go outside at 5 p.m., that's practically impossible to drive. That's fully darkness. You can see only lights of cars. People used to put on dark clothes like gray, brown, black. For me, that's absolutely when I look in the window, car window, I practically cannot see people. They disappear just in front of the car, like, just like suddenly. And they never think, our people, that the car, if it's driving too fast and you see it's driving, it's better you stop just for 1 minute and let this car go, because of course it's easier for a person to stay down for 1 or 2 minutes even, right, than to stop car just on the big speed driving. So this means about discipline and following the rules. We are not the best, our nation not the best about this. Everywhere advertisement, everywhere you can buy these things, but still very single people you can see using such things. And of course, almost everyday accidents, and I'm sure in other cities as well. So we got this light yesterday in the city because people worry about this accident, and of course due to more calm atmosphere right now, the military administration let us do that. And people start to argue, why, if we do economy, why you switch on the lights? And others says, oh, if you stay at home, maybe for you it's comfortable, but when we go home after work, that's impossible in fully darkness. So always people will never be happy, never. Whatever you do, you give light. When they were asking for many months, they were angry, and when you give light, they are angry because we need to make now economy. So when you don't give light, why we don't have, when in Chernovtsi, let's say, or in Vinnytsia, they have light. So people never can be satisfied. unfortunately. So, guys, let me continue seeing. And by the way, guys, we had a very cold night last night. It was minus 21. In some parts of our region was minus 25. That was the coolest night during this winter season this year. I read today's statistic in 1987. Statistic for this day was minus 40. Minus 40, can you imagine? Just here. So I cannot even imagine to live in such frost right now. But Juan, Vita the brain, also the pipeline to make Eastern Europe dependent on Russia. The pipeline gave Russia leverage. Of course, of course. But guys, I believe not only Russia can have this gas pipeline. I believe in our people. I believe in our brains, in our technologies, in our progress. And I believe if people want, they will think something and they will find the way out. By the way, in Ukraine, in Western Ukraine, 1 week ago was found the storage of gas, absolutely huge one, absolutely good one, which actually will be enough to cover all countries' needs. So why it was never found before? You can think as well. So I think people, if they think properly and if they really want to find the solution and to cut this dependence, they will think over. It will take some time. It will take some efforts, some bad, hard processes for just ordinary people, right? But I still believe after some, maybe after a few years, we will find out something that we won't be dependent on Russia because of the gas, oil, and all the rest these important supplies. Tracy, hello. Hello, hello. Nice to see you. Yannick, Slavic people in Russia is a minority when comparing to Ukraine. I will agree. We mentioned this fact already, right? There is no some like definition of Russian people by genetic. So it's a combination of absolutely different nations. And Russia has really huge number of different nations, regions, locations, areas, republics, and nations. So Slavic people, yeah, if we count, not so many there. Yeah, that's true. I also read today. Actually, my friend from Russia sent me some chat where Buryat people start to argue about their self-identity, national identity. Like people start to feel not happy, and they start to say things like, we don't want to be kind of small brother anymore. We have our nation, we have our territory, which was taken and forcibly joined to Russia. So why we should be like a small brother? So some processes going on, slowly, of course, silently, maybe, but probably in the future people will start to understand something and will start to fight for their rights, for their independence. We'll see. We'll see. What Vita, over here it's advised to wear reflective clothes or light colored clothes when outside in the dark in areas without light. I absolutely agree. You know, I'm a driver, but I'm very careful driver. But when I'm a passerby, when I cross the street, it's really funny. It's really funny to look at me. Really, you would laugh because I stay on the one side of the road, and before I dare to cross the road, I will check the road like 10 times, and then I just run, because I understand. I understand. Not so much discipline on the road still here, though the penalties for being drunk increased like 20 times probably. Still police catch people day by day being drunk driving, and such cases, like for example, the person was caught half a year as well drunk, his driving license was taken, and he got penalty, and he keeps driving without driving license and again drunk. Even women, guys, not only men, if you think, even women, 2-3 times people have been caught being drunk and with already without driving license, which were taken like on the second time or on the first time. This, of course, a very bad situation. Though we have quite high penalties right now, people still don't understand. They hope for something, for something. So yeah, it's good when people conscious and they understand they are responsible for their lives. First of all, it's good to argue with car drivers. It's good to argue, but your life, I think, is much more important than to argue with car driver who is right and who is wrong. First of all, you need to feel safe. You need to check road to see if it's safe to cross, if it's safe to. People running with kids in full darkness, not even in a special places. That craziness. Really, a lot of people are being killed in different car accidents on the roads here. Not only our region, all over Ukraine. So light clothes, very rarely you can see. Mostly it's dark gray and brown. Sometimes, yeah, something light, but almost impossible to see when the person crossed the road. What? Or use a flashlight in areas without street lights. Like a couple of days ago, we were driving, and the young couple, start to cross the road, and they were not absolutely visible. Absolutely. You couldn't see them. You see them only when they step and got into the car's lights, And the guy had the lantern, but the position of lantern, he was doing that not like this to the direction of the car. He directed it to the ground. So how you can see that? And very small lantern, something like this, like something like this, and pointed to the ground, not even to the cars, to show, to demonstrate that I'm here, be careful. So lanterns, even or flashlights, should be used wisely as well. What temperature? So the sun is increasing the temperature in the house. That's cool. That's nice. That's good heating. Yannick, some here is stupid to not use reflectors or lights in the dark. Really, but I think in your country that's just like single people. Most of the people anyway, I guess in Denmark, disciplined and very, obedient, and they keep rules and laws. Of course, can be some young people maybe, but anyway, majority of people will do that. Majority. Here, majority won't do. Tracy, nice. It's still very early here, so it's still pretty cold. Not Vita's Ukraine cold, but for here it's chilly. What kind of chilly you have? +5, +10? But tomorrow we should have like -8. At night still will be like -13, -15. But that will be like maybe for 5 days. And then after, such a big frost will go away and the temperature will be bearable, So what? With I wouldn't be happy either if I were discriminated against by the supposed leader of my country in the same manner as Slavic Russians treat their countrymen. You can see the facts of such behavior even in Belarus if you follow events there. So at the places where Belarusian and Russian soldiers are collected at the same place and they are training or exercising or whatever they are doing there. So absolutely inappropriate behavior demonstrate Russian soldiers towards Belarusian ones. And a lot of complaints from Belarusian. As well, different Caucasus nationalities, which are serving together with Russian soldiers, they're absolutely constantly depressed. They get absolute disrespect, offense, beating, and sometimes, guys, even raping. I can tell you, 2 days ago, I read very horrible event. Young guy, soldier, hung up himself. He committed suicide, and he left the last letter, with explanation to his wife, and asked, like, whoever will find him, to give this letter to his wife. That was horrible, and he absolutely explained how Russian soldiers behaved with him, what they did with him. They took all his money, absolutely. He kept telling wife that all what you sent me to help me, like to get some food or warm clothes. So all this money were taken by Russian soldiers, though they are serving absolutely in the same battalion, let's say, or same group. And then finally, they did disgusting things with him. And the guy said, I cannot live after that. How I will look in your eyes when I come back. I'm not a man anymore. That's horrible. That's really horrible. So, and the poor guy just decided to finish his life like this. Awful, awful. So, what we can expect towards Ukrainians if they do such things with practically their own nation? What? Here we are taught from a young age to look left, right, left before crossing the road. Yeah, but I look left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, and then run. And then run. I never talk over the phone when I cross the road. I never cross the road slowly. I always run, always run. And I don't want to make drivers to wait when it's, non-regulated special place for crossing the roads. I understand. I remember when I'm driving and I want like people go fast. So I don't want to make them impatient. So I always run. But really funny picture. If you look, my husband always say, "Oh my God, you are the driver. How you can cross the road like idiot constantly?" That's funny. Gregory, that's a normal here. A lot of people still drive with the suspended license. Really? Oh my God, I thought that's possible only here in our country because we are disobedient, rebellious people, We always break rules. We always break rules. Tracy, 19 today? I'm coming to you. Oh my God. I don't want to stay in this frost. Plus 19. That's just a dream. I'm waiting for spring so much. But yeah, experts say next few months will be hard and something is going on. By the way, we have silence in my location for last few days. And honestly, I can tell you that makes me scared even more when I hear something or feel. Because we all understand the silence before the thunderstorm, right? So something is going on, something in the air, either reorganizing or repositioning or gathering more, something really suspicious. So when we don't have sirens or booms, we start to get nervous even more because we don't know what to expect. So normally it must relax people a little bit, but we know what that usually means. So we'll see. I read today that Kiev region very well, very properly, professionally protected. Border line with Belarus is really good protected. A lot of constructions, mines, special facilities, like really, they say, impossible to cross. But we'll see. We'll see. Something is going on. What? Vita, it's not a common here, but there are cases where people are caught driving without license. They get a fine. If the car is on their name and they're caught again, then the cops takes the car. For always, forever, or you need to pay some penalty and you will get your car again, or after some period of time. So for us, if you were caught being drunk or without driving license, I guess for 1 year, second time for 3 years, and third time for forever. Yannick. Here some do drunk driving too, and driving without license. Really? I remember, Yannick, the stories about which I believe probably the most popular in your country, in Denmark, about driving grannies. That's like catastrophe, disaster. Like when really old people, mostly grannies, I don't know. I don't know the condition of health, of course, but anyway, I guess that's aged person, and the reaction, of course, cannot be the same like it was 10, 20, or 30 years ago. So I know that some grannies even fall asleep while driving. So, and for me, that's really strange, when I see some granny come into supermarket or some gas station coming out of the car with this special device for walking, because the person cannot walk without somebody's help already, but the person still driving. Oh my god, that really surprised me. The most active aged people I have seen, that was in Japan. Really, like 80, 85, or even older grandmothers, like really old ladies, they are driving bicycles. Absolutely, absolutely well, no problem, very fast, very correctly. And yeah, the health of Japanese people and the longevity of life, we can only envy. That was really surprising to see. But in Denmark, I know that's, oh my god, constantly sleeping while driving. Everybody signaling, but granny just can stop and sleep. So Yannick, I remember that my father told me that some in the past couldn't drive sober, but drove fine when being drunk. Oh, yeah, sometimes that happens, and I know people, but that's not like people couldn't drive when sober, but the person was so drunk that he couldn't walk. But while driving, you cannot ever tell if you look from a side, like absolutely perfectly driving, absolutely, even at night, all rules, nothing, straight, stop, start, everything is good. But then just falling down of the car, that was also surprising for me how that can be. So maybe the last mm, power, the last resources of body people collect. Oh, I don't know, this phenomenon actually, like a miracle. Tracy, Vita, you would like the temperatures here now, but I know that you wouldn't when we are in summer and it's between plus 36 and 42. I will surprise you, Tracy. We have the same temperature here in summer. Absolutely. We can have even more last years. The climate of Ukraine is changing dramatically. We are more coming to some subtropical or something, with hurricanes, which are not typical for us, kind of storms, year by year. The last hurricane for all my life, I remember when I was really young, like I was maybe, let me tell, maybe 6 years, 7 years. I remember one really uh, strong hurricane. We were going with my mom back home in the darkness, and suddenly that started, and we were not far from our house. And the mom had very nice black scarf, and the wind just throw it, and it stuck on some tree. And my mom was trying to get that scarf because that was really nice and expensive, like fashionable, tiny black scarf, kind of silk or nylon, something like that. I remember that since my childhood. Since then, I never remember any hurricanes in Ukraine, never. But when my younger daughter was 2 years, so it was like 5 years ago, something, we had guests, kind of picnic. One of the friends came from Israel to visit friends, and we decided to gather together and to make kind of BBQ something. And when I looked at the weather forecast, something was strange there. And I was telling the people, all friends, guys, I think you need to go home. Not I didn't want to look like, impolite host, but still. Uh, mm, and they said, it's better to go. It's better to go, because I see that was showing like really much rain and really strong wind, but nobody heard me. And guys came with bicycles, and when it started, oh my God, we didn't have any possibility to come 3 meters from the summer house to the house, inside the house. We had to stay outside under this, kind of summer house, open house, when you can see it in the summer, eat, talk, just, that was, oh my God. A lot of people were killed then. All chickens, my chickens, by the way, were safe, not safe, but none was killed. And I ran to save my chickens. And we had a nice, like chicken eggs falling down. And people who lived in the village that time, they told all chickens which were outside, they were just killed from hail, just killing them. And I ran to my chickens, and people cried to me, "Are you crazy? Stay inside." I say, "My chickens, I need to save them." They say, "You crazy? You can be killed," because like trees were flying, a really big hurricane. And since then, we didn't have such a storm like right here. But every year we have really big storms with a really big damages, which we never had before, really. So it's possible to grow kiwi to grow kind of exotic things, even pomegranate and even fig, even fig. So we have really high temperatures in the summer. Sometimes it can be shown in the sun like around 50. So impossible. Not such a humidity, of course, probably like you have there, but really high temperatures. What? I'm not sure. Either the car is sold off, gets kept, or the owner of the car has to pay a huge fine to get it back. I see. By the way, a new law came up after New Year. Whoever buy the car now in Ukraine, I mean Ukrainian people, not foreigners even. So the first registration in a special establishment, special administrative center, as we call that place, no matter the car is new or used or old, so we have to pay around 3% of commission before to register the car, like from owner to owner. Let's say I sold the car and the guy bought from me and he want to register the car on his name. So it was around maybe 1000 grivna something. So maybe $30, let's say, something. But now if the car is around $10,000 or euros, so around $300 or euros you're gonna pay just for registration. That's very big difference in comparison what we have this fee. So, Yannick, my grandfather stopped driving when he turned 90. That's like that's shock. I cannot imagine person at 90 can be driving really. Either he has to have like really cool health and he has to have absolutely clear mind, absolutely clear mind, which I can doubt for such age. Or really that's surprising. In Ukraine you won't find people driving at the age of 90. No, I guess 80 probably, but very rare case. And we have also law right now after 60 something every year people needs to get some medical commission to check, and if something doctors don't like, they don't let the person drive and take the driving license. Because also many cases when people died on the road just from heart attack or stroke, like accidentally, very high blood pressure, of course, such situations can cause really bad car accidents on the road. So but of course we won't argue the health of Ukrainian people and the health of Danish people. I guess it's two different stories at the same age. So Yannick, +6 here, but rainy and gray. I would prefer rainy and gray, but +6 instead of sunny, as we had today, and -20. So I prefer gray and rainy. Send your weather here. Gregory, my father is 86 and still driving. Really cool. So you feel safe when he's driving. So you see everything is fine. No losing concentration or distraction or something like reactions. For me, it seems the most important is the speed of reaction. How fast person can react. That's, I think, very important on the road. If something goes wrong, person should react fast. But what here, after 75, people have to reapprove for a driving license every 5 years. Here, I guess every year or every 2 years right now. But But still, I know people can be sleepy, can be, fainting, can be hardworking, can be losing memories sometimes. So for me, it seems like really dangerous when really aged people drive in the car. But I don't know, in Europe probably, because I know in European countries, in USA, so people start to live when actually they are retired, right? So they are collecting, saving some money for this period. They can travel, and I know like Netherlands people, Great Britain people, Belgium people, they really used to travel a lot, especially like to Turkey, to Egypt, to some other countries. They spend really a lot of time there. They buy some properties. They really enjoy. I see they're really enjoying drinking beer, having massages, having sun, getting sunburn, making some new tattoos. Really nice because I see people still active. Our women at the age of 70 mostly will be like grannies, unfortunately, because life conditions, too much work, sometimes overworking, mostly, sometimes. So that's cool when people can live after when they are retired. So kids are away already, sometimes grandkids for holidays, for some visiting, but we don't have this stereotype. Our women have never ending shift, when their kids grown up, you have maybe a little bit of period of time to live for yourself, but mostly even not. We consider if parents are really good and really like love children, they help constantly. They help constantly, and they give them money, they buy them property, they're saving money to help them with the furniture or with some payments. That's very typical here. We don't cut this umbilical cord, which I learned yesterday. You reminded me this word. We don't cut this, almost never, almost never. That's why when kids get married, that's our parents' responsibility to pay for wedding, to organize everything. Then we think, oh, poor kids, how they will live without flat. So parents start to save money, to pay credits, loans, to give the possibility to live in their own property, because to live here in a rented property, that's very expensive. And I don't know, you need to have a really good job, occupation, like very popular, like high quality, to get enough money to be able to pay rent and to live normally. So of course most of people here try to get their own property, and of course to inherit after. So almost all, it depends of course on every family situation, individual situation, but normally, typically, standardly, right? So parents give their property to their kids, and then to their kids or to grandkids, or especially if it's a built house. So we live like this. I don't think that's very typical in Europe, right? So when we build houses here, we try to build as more high quality as we can. Not like cartoon, and but we used to use bricks, really good technologies that this house can stay for 100 years, like 50 minimum, and then the more the better, because we understand that kids after us will live in this house and probably their kids. So we have this stereotype here. So yeah, that's why it's our moms, after letting kids go out of the home, they start to bring up grandkids kids, because parents, kids working, want to enjoy their young life, and moms and dads keep growing grandchildren. Not like in Europe, definitely not. In very often cases, our grandmothers and grandfathers can be kind of really babysitters, literally, in all meaning of this word. So, mom and dad working, and grandmother constantly with kids, bringing them to school, to walk, to different classes, like extra additional clubs, like dance classes or some sport classes, right? Like gymnastic, maybe, or football, or whatever. Really, like our grannies never have this vacation, never. So, and I know that the system in Europe is absolutely different. What, Vita? I believe my country has the most demanding driving test in Europe. Pass rate is about 40% at most. Really? 40%? And do you have second chance or third chance or fourth chance? I remember my examination. Oh my God, how much I was afraid. Oh my God. Theory, I passed immediately. I had one mistake out of 120 questions, one mistake, so I passed it. And the practic, oh my God, the worst part of the city in the bridge, like the most busy and the most severe, angry examinator. And my instructor told me, "You will be the first." I said, "No, please don't make me driving first. I need to concentrate." He said, "No, listen to me. You're gonna be the first." I said, "No, I don't. I need time to concentrate, to relax, to calm down." He said, "No, until he is fresh, not angry, not irritated by other stupid mistakes of other students, you will be the first." I remember that moment. I felt like I was Pinocchio, absolutely wooden body, absolutely wooden body, like so it was really hard for me to drive, though I did everything correct. And the last moment, like actually for the examination, that was perfect. I didn't any mistakes, so I counted meters before gas station and after zebra and between bus stops, so all this was in my mind. And when finally what I did, idiot, so he said, "Okay." And he's absolutely silent, so he's not commenting, so you don't know either you're doing good or you're doing bad, and he's irritated. So, and he said, "Okay, stop here in some place." So you in panic, look, gas station, bus stop, zebra, people walking, supermarket, blah, 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 counting meters. Okay, I stopped, lights, everything is good. He, with absolutely frozen face, giving you the piece of paper, and you don't know what does it mean. It's like a ticket for coming for the second time for re-examinating, or you passed that. So he is giving you that with no words, no comments, and just leave the car, with such a leave the car. And you're trembling and sweating and you don't know what's going on. And I opened the door and I came out. And you know what I forget to do? Guess what? To make this, to stop the car, not to drive back. Idiotic. I know, I knew that automatically, but I was so nervous that I really forgot. And I just jumped out of car and the car started to get back. And I immediately understood what was wrong. And I looked at him and say, sorry, I forgot. I jumped in the car, make this once again. And then he started laughing like, "Oh my God, that was really bad mistake." But my face was red. He said, okay, I see you are nervous, but you did it, like, go. And then I texted to my instructor. He said, "So what happened?" I said, "I don't know." He said, did he give you some paper or not?" I said, "Yes, he gave." And the instructor made the pause. And I understood, like, I didn't pass. And I said, "It's bad. And he said, Vita, like very angry, you know. And I understood, I started crying. He said, you passed the examination, good. And I said, oh, that was real happiness, guys. But for me, yeah, I was very panicking driver. I absolutely couldn't fight, couldn't struggle, couldn't overcome my panic for a very long time, for a very long time. So that was fun to become a driver. But what? Same here. Our houses are made to last as well. That's good. Older rental homes are also renovated after a certain amount of years to modernize them and make them more energy efficient. That's cool. That's cool because I know in some countries they are doing just, you know, for one generation maybe, and when it's hurricane, they are just flying away, you know. Maybe that is done specially if it's hurricane and if it's fall down that it's not so heavy and cannot like really kill people, you know, maybe in security issues because of this, I don't know. But yeah, we try to make as solid as we can. Of course, not those people who try just to sell, who build and try to sell. They can use just blocks, you know, like they are not ecologically good. They are warm, but they can be destructed fast and ecologically not good because they evaporate some poisonous stuff all the time. Mhm. What? Vita, you can try again, but you have to take more driving lessons and pay for a new exam. One mistake and the exam is over. One mistake in theory or in practice? Because for us in theory, we had 120 questions, two mistakes possible. Two mistakes, you can pass. I made one. I made one. I made one. In practice, of course, he will look and Yannick, here they can try all they want. So many times, right? Until you're okay, until you're successful. Good. Good. So you see different countries, different rules. Different rules. Okay, guys. So where are your answers? Questions, sorry. Ask me any type of questions regarding today topic or girls or whatever you would like to know. What with a practical exam theory 3-4 mistakes if I remember correctly. It's been many years, so I don't recall how many questions exactly. I see. Yeah, these rules they are changing. They're changing constantly. By the way, when I passed examination, just new law came. Before, in Soviet Union time and like many years after, when you get driving license, that was already forever. When I start studying, so they made a new law. So if you pass the examination, you can get driving license only for 2 years. Only for 2 years. And if you get how much? Two, if I'm not mistaken. If you get 2 points during these 2 years, seems too little for 2 years, just 2 points. Or really 2 points. If you get 2 points while driving these 2 years, so after new year, you need to come and to get your constant driving license. Change permanent for constant. And then if they see, they check in the database. If you have 2 points, like 2 fees or 2 stops by police, so you need to repass examination, both theory and practice. If you can't pass, if you make mistakes, they take your driving license. If you pass, then okay, they give you. But if you don't have any points or just 1 point, so you come and they just change and you pay again for this new driving license, and they change them for constant ones. So I didn't have none for 2 years, and for me that was very important. I was really afraid to be stopped by police. So, but that's new rule. And even now what they did, if you practice on, how it is to say, automatical system or mechanical, so that will be shown in your driving license, because like they start to say that automatical is not so professional as mechanical. So they make a point, special note in driving license of fresh students, was the practice of mechanical or automatical. Like, seems like if you got the practice in automatical and you drive in mechanical car, so like it's not good because you're not professional in mechanical. But from mechanical to automatical also needs some practice, right? To rebuild your thinking. But this note also they make. I don't know why, that's something new, but they do like this now. Yannick, theory 5 of 25 questions. Really? Only 25 questions and you can make 5 mistakes? Oh my God, I should go to Denmark to pass my examination. We had 120. That was like the whole book and the whole application with testing. We were making testing. We go to school every day, 5 days a week, few hours a day. Absolutely. Starting 8 a.m. Oh no, sorry, 9 a.m. up to noon, I guess, or 12:30. And then after 1 month of theory, you start practicing. So you have lessons in the first part of the day, and then you have driving practice. So every day, that was really serious preparation. Test every day until you are almost never do mistakes, until you, even if you don't learn the rules, but automatically you already, by doing that hundreds time, you already know the right answer. So, but a really hard system, yeah. Vita, driving license is valid for 10 years here. Really? Maybe we're gonna have the same later too, I don't know, but we so far just 2 years and that's it. Yannick here, first 3 years is on probation. Oh, very loyal rules, by the way. Very loyal rules. Cool. So in Denmark, I wouldn't have any problem driving. I understand. I need to go there. But what? A driver's license is a driver's license here. It doesn't matter if it's automatic or manual. Manual, yeah, not mechanical, manual. Exactly, yeah, the right word. Before we also had the same, but then they decide to clarify that in driving license. I don't know for what. Because of course, definitely, many people understand that it's better to learn on manual, and then people start to buy cars automatic or something, but it will be easier. So I don't know what's the reason. What? I think we had 75 questions and could only have 3-4 mistakes. Not bad as well. 75, it's double less than we have and double more mistakes possible allowed than we can. So we can make only 2 mistakes out of 120. Yeah. But apparently the questions are really hard these days because so many people pay thousands of euros to someone to help them cheat. Absolutely, here too. But now what they did before. Before was no problem to buy driving license. Then they decide that you cannot get any driving license just passing examinations. You really need to take the whole course, which is more than 2 months of driving school. So after when you come for examination, like you sit at the separate desk with a computer and you start. Camera is, I don't remember it was with cameras or not that time, but now they say, because sometimes you know what they do, the person come, sit down, start passing, and then replace with that guy who knows all the answers and then pay to him. So camera wasn't all the examination, as far as I understood. Probably just making the first photo when you sit down at the desk, something like that. Now they say camera will be constantly during the whole examination up to the end. So you cannot be replaced by someone. You cannot now. So, and I think that's correct, because if you don't care about your life, you need to be responsible for other people's lives. And the less idiots on the roads, the more safe it is. So I think that's really great that these rules more and more strict. So they make like a natural selection for really good ones and for people who are not able, because we had in groups such people who just were not able to drive at all. Like crying, of course, crying, cursing, screaming, trembling, sweating. Uh, I remember when I I put on some open shoes like sandalettes, something of one of the lesson of practical driving. Oh my God, that was so idiotic from me. When I sat in the car, I immediately understand that was a huge mistake. And I said to instructor, maybe we reschedule the lesson because definitely I won't be able to drive in these sandalettes. He said, that will be good lesson for you. You will sweat today 10 times more. It will be harder 20 times more. Oh my God, never ever after I use those shoes, such a shoes, type of shoes while driving. Never ever. For me, that was really a good lesson. Mm. Yannick, I have my license till I'm 70. Then it needs to be renewed. Oh, you have a lot of time, Yannick. Still. Many, many years. Gregory, general knowledge for a truck drive is 50 questions and 30 questions for hazmat. What does it mean, hazmat, Gregory? What does it mean, hazmat? What? The insurance companies often refuse to insure you if you just got your license and have a modern car. They decide based on risks. Something here too. No, absolutely. When I got my car and I was a freshener, I got absolutely normal insurance, no problem. No problem was this with that. And the price is also decided based on how long you have had your license, the type of car, and if you have had any accidents in the past. Wise enough also. Quite reasonable, I guess. Mhm. What? Vita, over here they smuggle in small cameras and an earpiece so the cheetah can receive information from the person helping them. A driving license here is wanted by immigrants because it's a... Mhm. Okay, got you. So if I understand correctly, like if I inform police that I see somebody breaks the rules, something about that, because we have this new rule. If you follow some cars and if you see he breaks the rule, you can get reward. You can get reward if you inform police. You can make sure photo or video, and you need special application where you can send it and you will get reward. From one side, it's good because it can more discipline people. People will be more afraid to break rules, right? Knowing that some other people follow them and look how they drive. But at the same time, I don't like this reporting. That's like, something. Do you remember the hero, the boy hero from the Second World War history, Pavlik Morozov? His name was a kind of heroic name for all these years, but now his name kind of, like a nickname for traitors, for something. Why he was famous? He was small boy and who reported to fascists about his father, that he is hiding somewhere or he hides some food or something. And the guy was rewarded for that. Such I can never understand. So for me, he was never heroic boy, especially if we talk about father. But I know that in Europe that's very popular to report to police if you really, you know, for such things which in Ukraine never even people will pay attention. In some cases, we really wish our police would be more severe. Like, let's say, I know the family in multiple storied buildings. They are kind of alcoholics or something. They're fighting 24/7. 24/7. People cannot sleep at night under or aside or above their apartment. They're fighting, they're screaming, kids crying and screaming. And I really had an idea to inform to police that they can come and check. They can kill each other, I don't care, but kids, they are beaten kids. But neighbors told me that they call police many times, and they come, they make a comment like note, like don't do like that, and the situation is still the same. This I never can understand, of course, but I know cases when people having a party together, and in some state it's forbidden to be outside or to make party after 10 p.m. something. So one guy who was participating in the party left a little bit before, came back home, and then reported to police that there at that address guys still have party. This I never can understand. This really like disgusting for me. I don't know, maybe we have different mentality, but for me that sounds disgusting, because that's your friends, you also were participating in this party. Why to report? Mm, something is wrong. Maybe in regard of law, of state rules, that's correct, but in regard with personal characteristics and personal interaction with people, this I think sounds strange, at least for me. What? A valid form of identification here, making it easier to obtain certain things. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess so. Yannick, what do you mean? I gave 8,500 Danish kroner for my license. Why you gave? You get it like fake? You didn't pass examination, or just you need to pay to get them anyway, like whenever you pass or not pass? Yeah, I see, around $1,215. Why so expensive? Everybody must pay? Ryan, hello, hello. I will go to a sex holiday in Thailand. Do you maybe know a better location? We are not professionals about sex holidays, unfortunately, so we cannot help you. We are here for serious relationships, for building families, for marriage between marriage minded foreign guys and marriage minded Ukrainian ladies. So we are for that topic here. So I guess you probably mistaken with the channel. But anyway, I cannot help you. I don't know where is the cheapest and can't give you any advertisement. Ryan, my father Rudy has got a golden Luger from the Führer himself for his heroic actions at Stalingrad. Mm. So you are from Germany, right? Stalingrad, it's a very painful page of the Second World War history. Yeah. Gregory, hazmat is explosives, fuel. Okay. Anything that could harm anyone. Okay, dangerous cargoes. I understand. Yeah. Got you. Hazmat, is that correct word? Like, or kind of slang or something? Gregory, the written test is just for your permit, then you gotta go to school. So every country has different rules. You see, somewhere it's easier, somewhere it's more complicated, somewhere it's cheap, somewhere it's like really expensive, like Yannick said, $1,250. So I paid for that time for school around it was like 5,000 at that time, or 6,000 grivnas for theoretical course, which lasted March, April, May, and almost half of June, 3.5 months. And then you need to pay around 2,500 grivnas something plus for fuel for practical lessons. So totally at that moment that was like around maybe $200-300. Yeah, and then some payments when you get driving license, some fees. Yeah. Yannick, no price tests, theory and lessons. Just like obligation, everybody should pay that amount. Very expensive. What, Vita, what are your thoughts on the Wagner clown wanting Bakhmut for its tunnels? How much do you know of these tunnels? Bakhmut for its tunnels. How much do you know of these tunnels? Actually, don't know much about tunnels. Bakhmut they want because it's really a very important place. And if they can't kind of forepost, as we said, like a protection place, that's why we cannot give it to them, because it will make easier transportation and delivering and all this logistic. I think that's more about logistic, but about tunnels. I can check next time. Wagner, anyway, you remember I told you last stream, Wagner's withdrawn from there. Now just regular troops came in on the stage. But I believe something they want there, of course, something specific. Probably not only about unique protection possibilities, natural tunnels, and underground cities. That's why they need it. Really. I never came across this information before. Because it's fresh, really. This news pop up just yesterday. And logistical center, actually, most logistical center. So for them, if it really so, like with underground tunnels and cities, that would be really cozy for them to stay there and comfortable, Yeah. So this city, by his words, by Prigozhin words, in a military, from the military angle, right? So has three unique peculiarities: historical and geographical protection possibilities. So the city is divided into some special parts by water, by water, by water, and the suburbans, actually, what is around Bakhmut, suburbans of Bakhmut, it's a complex of some living areas which can which can be organized into the whole system of protection and unique landscape. So some hills, some hills which can be really good for fighting, which are natural tunnels. Yeah, yeah. And mines, guys. So like on the cherry on the top of the cake, cherry on the top of the cake, in this meaning he consider a system of Solidar and Bakhmut mines, which are actually the net of underground cities. Seems like true. So they have depth 100-meter depth, and also tanks and armored cars can use those tunnels to move, to dislocate. And the storage of weapon can be there, and some storage, he says, as he claims, since World War the First, still there. So his Wagner main purpose right now to get Bakhmut and control over salt and gips. Gips, this white stuff when you break your hand. So they put on you some white to demobilize your hand or leg, whatever. So mines, salt and gips mines under Solidar and Bakhmut. So yeah, this is the information, absolutely fresh information from yesterday. I never heard, by the way, never heard, and this information I came across first. So, and it's fresh. I see made up, like pop up from yesterday. I never heard about these tunnels, really. Yeah, what? Protection possibilities. Wonder how many exist it has. Just let them have it, bomb they exist, and let them be. Yeah. Can be good. Gregory, hazmat is the correct word. Hazard material, right? So it's abbreviation of hazard materials is the correct word. To drive a tractor trailer, one has to go to school by law here. Even yeah. We even to drive scooter right now needs driving license. Yeah. What gips? So the same English word. Okay, in Dutch as well. Plaster in English. Okay, I will remember. Plaster in English and gips in Dutch. Cool. So you see, yeah, I never heard about these tunnels. Bakhmut is really historical and unique place, really. And as they said, it attracted million of tourists year by year. Very nice place. A lot of antique monuments, some places to go sightseeing, some historical places. Really interesting. But you see, it's ruined now for more than 60%. Absolutely ruined, absolutely demolished. Just, I think it will be like second Mariupol, and it won't be able to rebuild, to reconstruct. It just needs to clean probably, and then to build again, because all what they did there, they burn and ruin. What about plaster for walls and such, cast for broken bones? Ah, okay, good. You know, I'm learning English with you guys. Thanks. Thanks. That's very useful. Uh-huh. So guys, 30 minutes. I have with you more. So if you have any questions, don't be shy. I want to make some short announcement until you think about your next question. So about donation, guys, you remember, whatever we are doing here, me and the rest of the girls, Jana, Yulia, Diana, Joe and Anna, all we are doing same thing. We want to educate you. We want to give you good, right tips to make you successful, to keep you from being scammed. That's also very important. And of course, you know, already we mentioned, we need to cover expenses for this channel monthly, and it's around $2,000. So if 40 viewers will donate like $2 daily, it will cover all our expenses, monthly expenses. So give us a chance to live, to survive, and to keep doing this, what we are doing for you here. So to support us by donation, you can use the link Magic Guarantee, spelled with a y.com/donate. And you can find this link as well here. I will show that for you. And you can find it in the description below every our videos. Okay, guys, so whoever has a possibility and comfort and chance and desire, you're welcome, okay, to help us. Okay, so I'm getting back to you guys, and around 25 minutes I'm with you to answer your questions. Yannick, Gibbs in Danish too. Okay, good to know. Yeah, but what? Thanks for your link, for helping me. So guys, whatever you would like to know, to ask me, you see, we today takes absolutely different topics, starting from war and driving license and prices and rules and everything. So chatting like this, while such conversations, you will get more and more about our country, about our mentality, because the mentality is still different. You know, European people much more disciplined. Of course, you have also disobedient people, that's for sure. But what we didn't use, we used to trick laws, maybe because laws are not mostly for people, really, to make life of people easier, but just instead sometimes to make people's life harder. So that's why our people used to trick, used to find way outs, and to live like by their own. So, of course, a lot of corruption due to this, of course. Sometimes such things like bribes, you know already, can make your life really easier here. So, you know, I know that in Europe, sometimes when you need some documents or some medical appointment or some medical paper, sometimes it really can take months to get it. Here, in this way, of course, much easier. You just need to know special people, you need to have some special contacts, and you can get it without such problems or issues. Not everything, of course, but yeah, I cannot imagine how to wait the appointment for doctor for more than 1 month, really, honestly. We have this electronical, sometimes, of course, doctor can be busy, But if you want to get it faster, you always can come directly to doctor, and even if he tell you I'm busy, you can put some money on the table and say, please, I really need it urgently. And that's it. That's it. So if you need some aid really urgently, it's possible here. Tristan, hello. What is Ukrainian average lady's day-to-day life and activities, expense, schedule, children, challenges, difficulties in cities versus villages, cost of living, etc. Please. Oh my God, that question can be like the whole stream, or maybe not even the whole stream, can be few streams. If you see, if like to talk how much I used to talk, so can be like few streams. So average days like to wake up. We are talking about war or just normal peaceful life. So everybody goes to work. Somebody works from home. Somebody works from office. Uh, so we wake up. We make a breakfast for kids if we have ones. We bring them to kindergarten or to school. Then we go to work, and after work, because normally work we finish at 6, 7, sometimes 8 p.m. So let's say if girls work in malls as shop assistants, let's say shopping malls, these big supermarkets, they used to work for many hours, like 12 hours. So all people, all employees who work in there, they have to work 12 hours as well. So then, but normally it's work starting from 8 or 9 a.m. up to 5, 6, 7 p.m. sometimes. And then what? You go home. You need to do shopping sometimes before coming back home to buy some basic stuff like milk, bread, what you need every day, some meat maybe, then come back home, then doing supper, maybe cleaning something, or maybe on the way back you take from kindergarten your kids or from school, and then the evening is at home doing home task, checking home task, cooking, maybe watching something and going to bed. That's just like ordinary life of ordinary woman, let's say married woman, or not married but like single mother, right? Single mother. But that depends also on work, what kind of work you have. Sometimes people can work from home. Of course, then their schedule is much more flexible and they can allow themselves much more free time to go to city to do something extra. That actually depends absolutely individually. Some ladies, like if we talk about average ordinary lady, I gave you the schedule. On weekends, probably go into gym, maybe meeting parents, maybe walking outside with kids or bringing kids to some entertainment place, right? Hobbies can be absolutely different. Somebody has hobby as shopping, somebody knitting, somebody drawing pictures. It's very popular right now in Ukraine, drawing by numbers. You know, the picture, the scheme you have. The picture is kind of scheme with numbers and a set of painting colors. So some brushes, and then you need to color due to numbers. That's, by the way, very popular right now. Very popular. Especially we have this these stories about war, very patriotical episodes, pictures, like fragments, right? And this is very popular right now. Some go into sauna, some go into gym, some just stay at home. That also depends on the money they get. If it's ordinary lady having ordinary occupation, so the salary of course will be ordinary, which will be hardly enough to pay for apartment, rent or expenses, food, school, transportation, some medication, that's it. So people cannot afford much actually, yeah, like even to go to sauna or cafe or pizzeria. Ladies who has rich guys, boyfriends or husbands, of course they can afford much more and their schedule much more exciting during the day. Some of them have their own business, maybe kind of small hairdresser or cosmetology or some cafe or something. Of course, these people more mobile, more flexible. They don't need to stay in office for the whole day. Of course, they can afford to meet with friends during the day, in the afternoon, to drink some coffee in cafe, to go to some pizzeria, to meet somebody. That really depends. The range of ordinary and extraordinary ladies in Ukraine absolutely huge. It's from like here and here, absolutely different. Some people just like slaving horses day by day, same problems, same difficulties, same issues, same credits. So month by month, just gray, ordinary, not interesting, not exciting life. Some people enjoy, that depends. So anyway, if the lady is single, let's say she's single and she has ordinary occupation, then her salary will be ordinary, so she cannot afford much to entertain her, right? If the lady is single but she is like maybe private doctor or cosmetologist or some beauty professional, right? So she can get more money and of course she can afford much more to entertain herself. I can tell you big secret, even now some people can travel out from Ukraine, just not for business, not for not for saving their lives, but just for entertainment. A lot of people can go to Carpathians and all these places, resort places, rest places, they are opening and working. For New Year, by the way, the prices were awful. I looked, one small bottle of beer, like ordinary bottle of beer, maybe 300 grams or something, milliliter, not even half liter, costed 200 grivnas, which is $5, like almost European prices. So, but they did it because some people can afford that, right? So you can understand. I see some ladies looking for some tours. I see some ladies going shopping in quite expensive boutiques. I see some ladies can still afford artificial nails, artificial eyelashes, and that takes, like monthly payment because you need to refresh that every month, doing some beauty procedures like hyaluron acid, some fillers, something like let's say I dye my hair by myself. I don't need any professional for that. I don't want to go there to pay $20 for nothing, which I can do for 30 minutes by myself, really, really. But some people prefer to do that only in professional hair dressers place. So right now to dye hairs can be like $20 something, so quite expensive, but not everybody can afford that. So one second, Tristan, because you asked me many questions, I start answering them. Good idea. Normal, Tristan. But what's surprised about that? Over here, you have to make an appointment for more things. Socialized versus private medicine. Yeah, governmental medicine and private medicine, that's like a really huge difference. Gregory, I see you leaving us. Thanks for joining. Have a nice Sunday. See you next Friday. Waiting for you. Thanks. What? The only exceptions are if they have a record of you having health issues and the reason you need to visit the doctor is because of those issues. No, you can come here whenever you want. You just need to make appointment online or to call to your family doctor. I need to come. I decide to make ultrasound of my kidneys. I decide because I feel something. So, okay, you come, she make a special direction, electronical. You go there to the medical center and you do this ultrasound if you want. Just if you want just to do that for yourself, just to check your health. So no problem with that. You can get to the doctor any day you want. Any day you want. Tristan, based on reported income levels by multiple national organizations, I still have difficulty understanding how single mothers or single women make it on a month-to-month basis considering cost living. So we have to survive. We don't have other way out. Some people have additional work. Some people can have additional work. Some people can do something additionally online. Some can have boyfriend or man who can help sometimes. But it's really difficult. If you hear the normal, usual conversation of ordinary girls or women, especially single mothers, the communication will be about the same things: how to close credit cards, how to pay for electricity, otherwise it will be switched off, how to buy milk instead of sausage or sausage instead of milk, how to manage to buy some shoes, winter shoes for child because from the last year already small. That's like normal, basic, ordinary life. But as I said, some people, especially you said neurologist. Okay, this is what I wanted to mention. My friend, a neurologist in Lviv, only made 200 a month in the hospital full time. Governmental hospital, right? $200. Yeah, that's the salary. And I can tell you, I needed some kind of such doctor, especially, and I found the necessary doctor in Lviv by recommendations. So the doctor took from me around $50 per 2 consultations, which were zero effectiveness. I was furious. And I can tell you, private neurologist or private psychologist or private psychiatrist, some other private specialties for doctors, they charge right now like this. So just think, if the ordinary psychologist have 3, 4, 5 appointments for such an amount, just imagine how much she can earn monthly. Actually, not doing anything, just spending time and telling the same blah, 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 blah. Nothing like really serious. So, Lviv. And that's, by the way, my second experience with the private doctors from Lviv. Absolutely zero result and huge bunch of money just wasted into the air. So that's about Lviv. They used to live there on the wide leg, as we said. The quality, like the price is almost European. By the way, when was the most bad stage of the war, right? At the beginning, like March, April, May, when people were running. Lviv people were offering apartments, rent apartments. Just imagine, for almost 30,000 hryvnias a month or 7,000 hryvnias a day. That was doing Lviv people. I don't know. At the same time, of course, a lot of Lviv people helped with humanitarian help. All this we know, yeah. But as for giving rent, the prices were like this. That was horrible to my mind. A lot of people moved out from Western Ukraine because it was safe, actually. More or less safe, okay? More or less safe. They moved abroad and they gave a rent their property. That wasn't also nice. People were without money. Yeah, some people had money. Some businessmen probably Yeah, but as you understand, not everybody. That's why more and more people went to Europe, because there they could get free shelter. The people who had money, like rich people, and who didn't want to cross the border to go abroad, they of course preferred to stay in Lviv, Chernivtsi, Uzhgorod, safe places, right? If they could afford that. But my experience with private Lviv doctors, not good. So tell your neurologist she need to become private doctors. Then she will earn much more. Of course, if she's a good doctor. Yeah, because then she will have line, a lot of appointments, no problem right now on Skype or on Viber. Everything is doing online right now. So. Eyes open. Did I hear right earlier something about a golden Luger gifted from the Führer being Adolf Hitler? I guess yes. I guess you're not mistaken. Yeah. The person boasted to us by this fact. Tristan, that same doctor in Lviv quit working at the hospital, went working for a private company, pharmaceutical, working at the same hospital, $1,000 a month. That's what I tell you. Of course. Of course. So you can see her life will be absolutely different now when she's earning $1,000 in comparison with $200 budget monthly, right? So 1,000 is okay. But right now the prices are so high that's not kind of luxurious life, but enough, absolutely enough to feel comfortable, I would say. Absolutely enough to feel comfortable. So, but normally for family right now, to feel more or less, to feel okay, $1,000 would be nice. I don't say about visiting restaurants like bowling, spa saloons, something extra, but just to eat what you want, to get dress when you need, not for $500 back, of course, right? But to feel okay and secure. That would be nice right now, $1,000. But of course, much people cannot get such an amount, and they are just surviving, trying to replace priorities, you know. Guys, we have 7 minutes. Juan. Vita, the brain. Will a man be more a knight in shining armor to a lady who is cashier or lawyer? Or is there no difference? The question just popped into my head. Yeah, of course, lawyer, first of all, has his own business. Remember, our ladies likes to show off. They like men who can run the business no matter what, even if you sell panties or underwear or just pants. But even if you have small room somewhere and you are selling them by yourself, so it means you are abled man, abled, you can do something, you manage to start, you manage to overcome some difficulties, you brave enough, you don't need motivation from other people, and you can do what you want. Just the idea that the man has his own business, no matter what kind of business, small or big, will make a lady, proud. And she will, of course, share this information with her friends and relatives with great pleasure. So, lawyer, of course. Cashier, uh, of course, not so popular, but don't forget about don't forget about chemistry. If we talk about Ukrainian lady and Ukrainian man, for cashier, of course, that will be much difficult. For guy from abroad, cashier, but with a stable income, not huge credits, having normal accommodation, and being able to provide the family, I don't think that will be of big importance. But that of course depend on the salary, because Sometimes these situations can be so difficult. I know such cases, then people just fall in love and they don't care. We have this proverb in Ukrainian language or in Russian language: with beloved men can be paradise even when in this touristic tent. Sometimes that's really true, but sometimes in modern conditions, due to modern life, that's not working. That's not working. But that really depends on the level of love, depth of love, of respect, and the moral qualities of people. So we cannot guarantee, we cannot guarantee. Sometimes two cashiers in supermarket can have simultaneously shifts, and who knows, after some period of time, after working together, having breaks together, drinking coffee during the breaks together and working shoulder to shoulder together, they can have some chemistry and they can fall in love, that also can be, and I never will tell that it's not possible. Absolutely can be, absolutely possible. At the same time, of course, when the Ukrainian lady is looking for foreign guy, of course she is looking more for financially independent man, who good provider, who can provide better life conditions for her than she had in Ukraine. That's obvious. That's obvious. But at the same time, I cannot tell that she cannot fall in love with a cashier even if he has a like average income. If he's not greedy, if he's smart enough, I mean don't do like some really stupid things or something. And if these people can have chemistry, why not? That's also possible. I believe i believe i believe in such things. So Yannick, the first lady from I met in September in Zaporozhye earned 25,000 hryvnias per month as a lawyer in some embassy in Zaporozhye. Yeah, quite good salary, enough for comfortable life. Maybe not so much luxurious, but person can afford something, can afford to go to pizzeria, to cinema, to buy some good quality clothes, to eat something more than only milk and bread, right? And cheap sausages, can have some food, cheese, fish, some sea products probably. With such an amount possible to live comfortably. But of course depends if the person has her own property apartment or needs to rent. If rent, then you can count and maybe third of this, or maybe sometimes even half, depends what part of the city, how big apartment, right? How fashionable the design there. So if she rents, half or third part of this money, of course, can go for rent and house expenses. Then not so much left, but still okay not to starve, I mean. So guys, I have 2 minutes for today. I see you have a lot of questions. Please, can you make these questions for me? Save these questions, please. Remember them, because I have to go and to tell you goodbye. Please answer me these questions tomorrow, okay? And because I see very good questions about girls and some other things. So join me tomorrow. Not tomorrow, guys. Oh my God, today is Sunday. Friday, sorry. Friday, I will be with you guys, I guess 11 a.m. due to schedule right now, but we'll see. You will get notification. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, to hit the bell in order not to miss our live streams, okay? Don't forget to donate, whoever has this desire and possibility. And for newbies, I will show the last short video about our channel that you have an idea. Probably guys who is looking for sex tours, they will understand what we are doing here, And guys, I will be waiting for you next Friday. Please remember the questions which I didn't have, unfortunately, time to answer, okay? And on Friday, you're welcome and we can keep this discussion, okay?
Hello, привет, and welcome to UkraineDating.tv. Our channel is the world's first of its kind, providing free live streaming every single day, 7 days a week with the real, genuine, beautiful Ukrainian ladies. Finally, now you have the opportunity to video chat live 7 days a week with different beautiful Ukrainian girls of all ages and walks of life. You get to ask all your deepest burning questions about all things Ukraine, Ukraine culture, Ukraine women, and Ukraine current events. And if you come to enough of our live streams, you might just discover what makes us mysterious women tick. Guys, I think you understand we're like David fighting Goliath here to bring you the truth once and for all. Our channel's purpose is to debunk the myth and stigma created by the toxic paper letter scam industry. And we hope you agree the best way to accomplish that is by giving you the opportunity to video chat with average Ukrainian girls that represent the real women of Ukraine. And then you be the judge about what's real and what's not. Guys, please know that we're doing this all for you. So do me a favor and subscribe to our new channel and help us help you, your fellow man, and help us bring Goliath to his knees. So guys, can I ask you to share this video with all your friends? Only together we can make a difference, guys.
Okay, guys, see you on Friday. Have a rest of the day. Cool. Have a nice working week. And I will be on Friday, 6 p.m. Ukrainian, 11 a.m. Eastern time here with you. Prepare your questions, which we didn't have possibility to answer today. I'm sorry. Okay.